It's Diana.
And Saray.
And we are back on Strong Women 101.
So today's video basically stems from a response from our old video about, what is the title? Getting crazy.
Getting crazy. Go watch that right now.
Exactly.
Click. Watch. Getting
and then
crazy.
come back here.
Yes. All right.
So y'all done watching it?
Okay.
Good. So basically we had the scale of 1 to 10, the crazy scale, and someone got back to us and told us that they don't think it's very ladylike for women to go past a level 3 on that crazy scale. So when I saw that, you know, I appreciate them for, you know, responding, but I was like, why didn't they say it's not good for anybody to go past level 3 on a crazy scale? Instead they said it's not ladylike. So for women to go past a level 3. And that brought on the topic of double standards.
Double standards.
Yeah.
That's so real, right?
Exactly. So basically my question is it acceptable for a man to show his anger or show his craziness, get crazy, get loud every now and then, more than it is for a female to do the same thing? Are we rebuked or are we looked down upon if we get crazy and show our crazy rather than a man?
Because we're supposed to be the fragile creatures.
Exactly. Or the submissive, the passive and whatnot. And that is a whole big double standard. A
big old double standard.
And honestly, it stems from even when we're babies. Even my sister was telling me the other day, she has a son, and anytime he falls or hurts himself, people say, people say, oh, don't worry, he's a boy, he's fine. And she said inwardly, she was just like, no, if I have a daughter and she falls, I'm going to say, no, honey, you're fine too. It's not I have to coddle her and not my son because he's a boy and she's a girl. No, you want to teach your kids that, you know, they don't have to cry for every little, you know, fall. They're okay. They can withstand it, you know, not depending upon their sex or their gender, you know, how they should react.
And that kind of goes into the whole doll thing too, where it's just like boys is the toy cars and all like the manly toys, and he can't have Barbies, and girls have to be pink and you know all these like girly colors with bows and ribbons and all the glitter, you know what I mean? And some girls aren't just like that at all. So
exactly, some girls may not like pink, and some boys may not want to go outside and play sports and, you know, do all those things. So yeah, we just want to talk about today the double standards in society. So I guess like in society, well, for me, back in the days, this is not my opinion now, guys. Back in the days, I used to have this double standard of if we reject a guy, right? Say a guy comes to talk to us or whatever, and we reject them, it's because we have these lists of requirements that, look. Our standards.
Yes, our standards is like, look, you have to have this, that, and that. But then if a boy rejects a girl, like a really pretty girl that came, he's gay. I know, like, that sounds so bad, but I used to think that because I'm just like, why would you reject a girl? Like, it's a girl. Like, and I guess in my head I thought that, I guess guys don't have standards.
Oh my gosh.
Woo! So it's just like, why? This is like, it has everything you need. Like, we have a face, we have the body, that's it. And I guess it really sucked on my part to just look at guys and then just judge their whole sexuality based on the fact that they rejected someone. I remember I used to go in and I'm just like, you know what, that's not right. So that's one of the double standards that I had to cut out of my life, because we can't now look at men and just say they don't have standards or they're just supposed to accept any and everybody.
Exactly.
They want someone with this, like, just different qualities too.
That can keep up with them.
Right. So, yeah, I had to cut it.
No. I feel you. Honestly, I kind of have a double standard that I am trying to cut right now, too. And that is, okay, I'll explain. When I see a very attractive girl, she has her life together and whatnot, and she's with a guy who isn't very attractive, he's kind of shabby and whatnot, you know, I'm just like, all right, well, you know, she sees deeper than the surface, and she, you know, loves him for who he is, and that's just that. But then when I see a guy who's very clean cut and like, you know, knows what he's about his business, and he's with a female who isn't really, yeah. I would be like, wait, why is he with her though? Like, I don't understand. And that was very wrong. And I never said it out loud or anything, but in my mind, that's what will go on. Yeah. And so I was just like, no. Like, he loves her, or likes her, feeling up, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, for who she is. Like, you know, you don't know if this is just a bad day for her, or you don't know if.
This is so funny.
You know, I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like, I'm being
vulnerable. You know what? You are being vulnerable. Go watch that video too. Vulnerability. But you know what? Because I used to kind of have the same thing. Because I'm just like, bruh, you couldn't do better. Which is so bad on my part. Because in a sense, we're supposed to be for each other. Right? Whether, you know, we all look different and because granted, I don't have like, you know, everything and neither does she, but is that how we're supposed to choose who we love?
Exactly, yeah.
So
and same with the female. Like, honestly, you know, I've dated guys and people were like, oh, why are you with them? I'm just like, no, don't talk about my man. I'm talking about sorry.
I've dated tree monsters too.
Lord have mercy. Anyway. But at the end of the day, there's double standards that we all have, and we need to cut them out. We need to consciously see what they are and cut them out. Like, yeah, we can't just be going on and on and on in the generations with these double standards. Like, we have to progress further than that.
Yeah. That's a nice thing to do. Yes, we have to progress in life. I feel like with things now and, you know, society, I feel like everything's stepping up. Like, we're not in the past anymore. And then I feel like everybody just needs to be more open-minded to everything.
Exactly.
Like, I felt like it put a limit on our minds when we just think a certain way for the rest of our lives. It's just like, so there's no room for change.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that progression.
Yeah. But then I can understand how someone can comment to us and say, you know what, your whole thing against double standards, it kind of goes against what you do believe in, which is knowing your role. In a previous video, we talked about roles of men and women, which is, you know, citing all the
all the videos. Just go watch it.
Go watch them all. You gotta stay up to date. But yeah, we spoke about knowing your role, and we believe that there are roles for a woman or a wife, and there are roles for men and husbands. And I can see how someone can say that it contradicts with the whole not wanting to have a double standard. So what do you think about that? Because I'm not even sure about my thoughts about it. So what do you think about that?
When I think about double standards, I think of stereotypes in a way, where it's opinions rather than, but roles can be opinionated too.
Exactly. And roles can be stereotypes as well. So it's hard.
Okay, it's funny because it's in my head. I think of roles as in, okay, you go to a job, right? And you have certain requirements, certain roles that you have to fulfill. Okay, I have to, you know, file the papers, do this and do that. I feel like the stereotype or the double standard in it is that I'm going to file the papers with like pink post-its and whatever, where a guy is just like like just stacking whatever. But the role is set in stone, kind of. Do y'all get what I'm coming from? It's just like roles are like kind of set in stone, like this is what I have to do, but then the double standard is how
you go
it's
about
done.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that.
Because like, okay, so like in marriage, I would say like, okay, we have different roles like in the house, right? There's the spiritual roles, and then like there's the you know, the roles of the house where it's just like, you know, the cooking, cleaning, whatever the case may be. So if George's role, for example, is to cook, right? We used to look at cooking as, oh, like, again,
that's a female
it's a
thing.
female thing because of how we look. We have on aprons and we do this and we do that. But who says that he has to look feminine cooking? Because I actually think a guy is sexy while he cook. But
that's true. Okay. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like, this is the role, but how do you execute the role? What makes it not feminine or not masculine? I think that's the way I look at it.
Okay.
You guys get what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying. Because so in a sense, maybe my role, I can say, in the, you know, most black and white terms, is to have babies. The man's body was not created to have children.
Exactly.
So
that's
that's
set in stone.
Yeah, so that is my role as a woman. But I guess the double standardness is that, you know, just because I have the child doesn't mean that I have to raise the child by myself. No, you know, we're in this together. No double standards. Like, he can stay home with the child if he wants. I can stay home with the child if I want. You know, we decide upon that and how we're going to raise the child. So is that what you...
Yeah, because it's just like, okay, this is the role that's set in stone, but how are we going to execute it? Are you going to just make me, okay, you're a woman, so you have to stay at home? Or are you going to be like, no, I am the father of this child, and we share this responsibility. Just because I stay home as a man doesn't make me less of a man because I'm not working. Or what if my wife, right? That's another double standard that, you know, women that are go-getters and that work hard, all that nonsense. But anyway, just because my wife is going to work and, you know, she's holding it down because maybe she's, you know, this executive and she can't get the hours to stay home, and I have the hours to stay home, and we agreed that this is something that works for us, that doesn't make me less of a man or make her less of a woman. So it's just like, it's how it's executed.
Because you're both working to support the family, essentially. So, yeah. So as you guys can see, this is a very shaky topic. But we firmly believe that there shouldn't be double standards, and we firmly believe that you should know your role and operate in your role. So now more than ever, we really want you guys to pitch in, comment below, let us know what your thoughts are on double standards and on roles, you know, as a woman, a man, and roles in a relationship. So yeah, I guess that concludes our talk on double standards. So
give us feedback with everything. All the if you have any double standards that you want to talk about, let's talk about it. But like, join in.
Feel free, join the conversation. We made ourselves very vulnerable just now in our double standards. So join and let us know, what double standards do you want to cut out of your life right now? So that's all for now. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Peace out.